it's Mel from Bengal Whisper. I hope all of you are doing awesome. Today we're going to do a story. So this story about some special, unique persons in the world. So when I was a little girl back home, once my grandma took me to a temple, and there I met a person. And this person, that time everyone believed that this person had unique abilities. So this person, the priest, used to be in the temple, and whenever someone came with some kind of health problems or family problems or any kind of issues, that priest will just wave his hand, and then most of the issues eventually went away. Now if it's a health problem, the issues used to go away instantly, but if it's some sort of problem in the family or something, it used to take a little bit of time, which involves us many people, like many like uncle, aunt, or brother, sister problems, some sort of fight, which took a little bit time. But it was very fascinating to see that someone could really do that. And I got so fascinated that I used to go by the temple and watch the priest, like thinking what gave him so special power. It was always in my head, if I saw somebody having special power, I always had the curiosity to know what makes this person so special power. So as I watched the priest, I saw the priest mostly lived on fruits, because he did not eat cooked food, so it was mostly fruits. And many people came to the temple, and whatever he received through the donation, that's what he ate. And so most of the times it was fruits, and at night time, around like evening 3-4 o'clock, I have seen some other priest from the temple would cook just whatever they receive in the donation, was mostly rice and potatoes and some vegetables. And they had little bit of sweet which people used to give out to the temple, like sweets, and that is all. They never had any fish or egg or meat, because these things are forbidden to enter the temple. So nobody is allowed to bring any kind of animal meat inside the temple. And this is a Shiva temple. Now there is another temple which is called Kali temple, and there they bring animal products, which is total different thing. But in Shiva temple, nobody is allowed to bring any kind of animal products, so it has to be just fruits and sweets. And then people bring rice, potato, and vegetables to give to the priest for priest's food. That's what he eats. So this priest used to live on those, but I never seen him that much. But I don't know about the night time if he did it. But he lived most of the time on fruits. And what I did see him, that he would go in the sunshine. He walked. And a few things that I paid attention and noticed, because I used to pay attention and notice and write it down. What is it that he does from people? Well, number one, what I saw is he would walk barefoot. Never wore slippers. I have not seen him wearing slippers. Barefoot. Number two, around the temple, always barefoot. Probably if he went far away, some stores where he had to go through road and there could be mud or nails or some things which might hurt the feet, probably wore slippers, sandals, things like that. but no shoe which should cover the entire feet, like something open shoes. It's something all the fingers will be out. So he wore that, and he wore 100% cotton fabrics, and nothing of a dark color, were always light color. And then mostly it was orange or white, but never black or blue. It was all the time orange or yellow or white, these three colors. And then another thing which was very consistent is with every clothing, he had a turban kind of thing, a wrap on his head. And this was always with no fail. And another thing I noticed that he would massage his body a lot with mustard oil. So yeah, and then I noticed that even though his body was very thin and very dark, but he would spend all his day beside the time when he was meditating or praying in the sun. So doing all kinds of exercises, more mainly yoga postures and breathing pranayama in the sun, and then washed his clothes and dried in the sun, and took a shower with cold water drawn from the well or the river. Never took a shower in hot water. And this shower is like 5 minutes, and used as a soap the mud from the ground, the mud they used to grow plants. And every temple in the back of the temple, most of the temple in back in the days had garden. The priest will grow. Even now many temple in US, Indian temples have in the back of the temple big garden or vegetable garden. So they basically grow all their food. Even in New Delhi, they have the some Haridwar, Rishikesh, and there's big complex where all the priests are there, and so some big famous ones also there. And they have this in the back, they have this huge garden where they grow everything that they eat. So they're not that big into any animal food, so they don't eat or drink any animal food including milk. They don't drink milk, but they do eat a little bit of butter with their rice. So they will put little bit of butter called ghee, not a lot, a half a teaspoon or quarter of a teaspoon. What it does, it brings out the taste, since they would eat just boiled rice with potatoes. So when they add little bit of ghee, and then they were big into greens, like they would eat sauteed greens with the rice. And that's rice eating is only one time. So basically the priest ate only one meal, which was around 3, 4, 5 p.m. Usually before dark. So because they cook in the daytime outside in their garden, where they use the wood from the tree to make a little wood stove outside, and they cook in that, so they don't need to spend for any gas oven or all that. And so they do all their prayer, meditation, studying, everything during daytime when the sun's daylight is there. And as soon as it's night, like 7, 8, 9 o'clock, when it's dark, they sleep. And they would pray, but they sleep, and they fall asleep. And the first thing in the morning they wake up, and then after doing their chores they meditate to the sun, the rising sun. And so basically what I found is they use the sun's energy and light a lot to increase their powers. And they eat vegetarian meals, and then They wash their clothes in the river or with the well water, and they dry it outside in the sun. So they use the sun's energy to dry their clothes, and they do a lot of exercises under the sun, and they massage their bodies with oil under the sun, and they do exercise in the sun, breathing exercises, a little bit energy exercises, sort of like Tai Chi. So they harness the sun's energy and utilize in their body as food, and this energy makes them powerful. Another they are big at, another huge, which is they harness their sexual energy, and the priest, they do not lose that energy, and they are not allowed in the priest community are allowed to be sexual. So they don't think about it and they don't act on it. And when they look at a woman, they just looked at their feet and call them as mother. So they do not call a woman or a wife or a sister or daughter. They just call them mother, to everybody mother. So you can't think of any evil thoughts about mother. So we call everybody mother. So these are few observations, because I have seen somebody would come and they would say that ears they become blind with diabetes, and then the priest would just run through his hand after doing some prayer meditation, and the person was able to see. So these are the few things were very miraculous, and these powers came from living a lifestyle like that. So those principles that what I mentioned, and they will eat sprouted grains like mung beans sprouted, and fruits and vegetables, and they do not use that much oil to cook, maybe 1 teaspoon or no oil, but after they cook the meal, they use a half a teaspoon of ghee on their rice and vegetables to make it a little bit tasty to eat, but they do not cook with the ghee. Ghee, they used it directly into their rice. So this is the kind of lifestyle they lived, and they eat only once a day, but they are never sick, and they were very handsome looking, and their bodies were solid build and very thin yet solid build, no fat and no sickness. And they were like amazing people, because their thoughts are very higher, they're higher vibration people. And for sleeping, they slept on the temple floor, and all they had is a mat, and on that they sometimes people donated a quilt, and they will sleep on the quilt on winter, and people donate blankets and pillows, so they will have those donated pillows and blankets. And morning they packed it up and put it in some corner, hide it with covering up with clothes, and they will just put that thing down, their bed down around 7 8 p.m., and then they'll just sleep there in the temple in one corner. So they live a pretty simple life, yet very healthy and very powerful, and they could make so much changes. So then I was very interested, and I started finding people, and I found some people's like that in USA too. And then I thought, like, if you all are interested, you can check his videos, and I found him very interesting. His name is Elitom Elamin, Elitom Elamin. Now his name is Elitom Elamin. He lives in US, and I heard he is a breatharian. Breatharian means he lives in air and sun's energy and light energy, and does not eat food or drink water, but he is very healthy, vibrant human being, and looking at him he could not believe what his age or how he's surviving. But very interesting, and I have seen like this in India. I have seen, and there was another priest once in my auntie's house. Auntie had a huge house. Auntie's house, the priest came, and we had a huge celebration for the priest. Whenever the priest comes, we will have a special room, and this room will be reserved for the priest. And this room, the priest always wear orange color. They always wear light color clothes, so they will wear orange, white or yellow, and they will always have a turban kind in their head to protect their head. And they believe that most of the energies they harness will escape from their heads, so they keep their heads protected. But they always walk barefoot because they believe that you can harness a lot of energy, electromagnetic energy from the ground. It keeps you grounded and keeps you energetic, and it keeps your senses sharp because you can feel what's there on the ground. Like just like the dogs, dogs and cats. So think about that. The dogs, cats, a horse, bear, elephant. Now, do we go and put shoes on their feet just so that they don't get hurt, or their feet does not feel the cold or the heat of the summer? We don't do that, right? So they just walk with their four legs, and same thing goes for every animal on the planet. We don't put shoes on them. Doesn't matter what's the weather. When in the snow, you're going for walking and you're taking your dog walk with you. Do you put boots on your dog's leg? You don't, because the dog gets used to the snow. Yeah, of course it's cold, and of course they feel cold probably, I'm sure. But we don't go and put boots like, all right, let's put some socks and boots in your feet because your feet might be cold. So the God has made. So I started thinking that, yeah, so this guy, he was walking on the snow, Eli Tom Elamin, and he said, you get used to it. And I was so shocked. Then I realized, yes, this is not the first time, because in India, actually, in summertime, heat gets so excessive that you cannot put your foot down on the ground. The soles of your foot will get burned. So I remember mother, grandma, auntie, everybody used to say, oh, in the hot sun in the daytime, do not get out, your feet will get burned. So I'll just take my shoes off and tippy tippy toe in the roof to feel how hot it is, and does it really get burned? Well, it didn't get burned, because after some time I would be walking. Initially it was a big sock, and then I would still walk. Everybody would be sleeping, so I just tippy tippy toe and walk and feel how it feels. So I always like to feel what it is feels, that what they don't want you to do, because you want to see for yourself, is it really true or is it just all telltale? So I would see, and I realized that, hey, after some time I don't feel it. After some time, I would be walking back and forth, putting all the clothes in the hot sun, picking them up, folding them, putting them away, and mom will come and she'll say, oh my God, your feet will get burned, put something on. I'm like, I don't think so, it's not getting burned, mom. It is fine. Yes, so just because somebody says it's going to get burned doesn't mean it's going to get burned. I had to feel it and see for myself, is it really gonna get burned? I need to feel it. So yeah, so even I found many of this. And then the Iceman, Wim Hof, if you look up his videos, Iceman taught a lot of things the body could be used to, whatever you make it used to. So yeah, this is just not one way to skin a chicken, I guess. There's many ways. So yeah, but this was very interesting, because when my auntie's priest came in my auntie's home, and there were many people used to come visit, and they will bring all sorts of sweets and fruits. But what is their priest to do with all these fruits and sweets? So if anybody came and they brought sweets or fruit or didn't even buy, if they went to the priest to get blessing, he would just hand them away those fruits and sweets because he is not going to eat those. And at the end of the day, he would eat some fruits and go to sleep, and I would see him in robust health. And I did not see him chugging down all those meats or fish or eggs for protein, never did. And he would have robust health, very energetic, and then the skin and the body will glow. Oh, another big thing, as a soap, they use mud on their skin, mud directly from the ground. It was just scrub all over their body. Sometimes they use the coal for cooking, and they use the charcoal ashes and rub it all over their body when they're doing their yoga, pranayama, or meditation outside. And the reason they put these ashes so the bugs or mosquitoes will not bite them. So they had some amazing practices, and some of them just live on few fruits and water. Some of them, and this is a slow process, not like one day they woke up in the morning, say, all right, from today I'm not going to eat a single drop of water or food. It doesn't work that way. So they went through years of practice, and after maybe 20 years they progressed to one meal a day, or maybe just fruits and water. So years of practice, they practiced with 2 meal, 3 meals, 2 meal, cut down the snacks, move on to more fruits and vegetables, and cut down the grains. Like that, it's a progress, slow progress, trying out, writing down what works, what did not work. But the main thing they said is nature, nature, nature. You have to connect with nature. So more plant based, more living in nature, the sunshine, the trees, the nature, everything about nature. So yeah, I thought I should share it, and you can check out those channels, Wim Hof, and the other one is Ellie Tom Elamin, and very powerful people. And I just really appreciate that they're like superhuman, and how they explain what changes, how many years to get to that point. So thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'll see you with many, many more.